Today we're going to look at a poem by 西毒和殇, a contemporary poet born in 1981, and the poem is called Fictionalizing Her, or 虚构她. I guess I'll read the English first, and it is translated by Liang Yujing. I think you will really like this poem about contemporary life. So here we go. I'll read the English, then the Chinese. In the third form of primary school, she pretends her stepfather's hand that stretches over at midnight does not exist. In the third form of junior school, she pretends her gym instructor's arm around her waist does not exist. In the third form of high school, she pretends the old guy who clings to her hips on the bus does not exist. In her third year of college, she pretends the foot of her roommate's boyfriend under the card table does not exist. On her wedding night, she pretends the 1-month-old fetus in her belly does not exist. 3 years into her marriage, she pretends the flirting texts on her husband's mobile do not exist. 7 years into her marriage, she pretends the plump wife of her boss does not exist. 18 years into her marriage, she pretends the boy who caresses her son in the room does not exist. After 28 years of marriage, she pretends the ever-enlarging tumor in her womb does not exist. After 30 years of marriage, she pretends she is fortunate and all the tormenting loneliness in her life does not exist. 3 minutes before death, she pretends death is painful and her aversion to this world does not exist at all. So now for the Chinese. 虚构她. So I'll read the whole thing first and then we'll break down some of the more advanced words and what they mean. So 三年级那年假装半夜继父伸过来的手不存在。初三那年假装体育老师揽上腰的手不存在。高三那年假装公车上紧贴身后的老头不存在。大三那年假装牌桌上舍友男友的脚不存在。新婚之夜假装肚子里已孕育一月的生命不存在。婚后3年假装丈夫手机里的暧昧的短信不存在。婚后7年假装公司老板发胖的妻子不存在。婚后18年假装与儿子在风里亲昵的男孩不存在。婚后28年假装子宫内日益膨胀的肿瘤不存在。婚后30年假装自己是幸运的，一生的孤独和折磨不存在。死前3分钟假装死亡是痛苦的，自己对世界的厌恶并不存在。So, it's a beautiful poem. It reminds me a bit of Talking in Bed by Philip Larkin, but much grander in scope and much more ambitious. So we'll take the new words in stanza 1. So 三年级那年, so in the third form of primary school. In the US they'd call it elementary school. So I found this poem in this anthology here, Staying Human by Neil Astley, which is the 4th in the Staying Alive series. And the translation is obviously meant for a UK audience and not a American. So junior school, elementary school, more or less the same thing. 假装半夜继父 so 继父 stepfather. 伸过来的手 so 伸 is to reach. 不存在 does not exist. So in the third form of primary school, she pretends her stepfather's hand that stretches over at midnight does not exist. So the next stanza, 初三那年. So it says in the third form of junior school. I think we're probably thinking middle school. So I'd say she will be early teens by this point. 初三那年, 假装 pretends, 体育老师 her gym teacher or PE teacher, 揽上腰的手不存在. So 揽 is to put something around or to grope. So and yao is her waist. So in the third form of middle school or junior school, she pretends that the PE teacher's arm around her waist does not exist. 高三那年, so the third form of high school. I think we're thinking A-level students here, that sort of age, 18, so 17 or 18. 高三那年, in the third form of high school, 假装公车上, she pretends on the bus, 紧贴身后的老头不存在. So who clings to her, well, it translates here as clings to her hips, but so shen ho, the back of her. So she pretends that the old man clinging to her from behind does not exist. 大三那年, so the third form of college. So university is 大学, so 大一, first year, 大二, second year, 大三, third year, etc. And the same goes for high school, 高一, 高二, 高三, 高三. So it's very, very simple language in many respects. So 大三那年, 假装 she pretends, 牌桌, so the card table, a table where people play cards, 上舍友男友, so 舍友, roommate or flatmate, 男友, boyfriend, 的脚不存在. So apparently her roommate's boyfriend is playing footsie with her under the table, quite possibly flirtatiously, and she pretends it doesn't exist. So 新婚之夜, so on her wedding night, which in theory is the most romantic night of one's life, 假装 she pretends 肚子里已孕育一月的生命不存在. So the 1-month-old fetus in her belly. So 生命 as in life, 一月 as in 1 month. Or in spoken Chinese it would be 一个月, but in poetic Chinese, 书面的中文, there's more license. So on her wedding night she pretends the 1-month-old fetus in her belly does not exist. 婚后三年, 3 years into her marriage, 假装丈夫手机 on her husband's phone, 手机里的aìmèi的短信. So aìmèi as in suggestive or flirtatious, 短信 as in text messages, 不存在. So there's being close to someone and there's letting that person see your phone. Two very different things in this day and age. Next stanza. 婚后7年, in the 7th year of marriage, 假装公司老板发胖的妻子不存在. So 胖 meaning fat, 发胖 is to become fat. So here it's translated as plump very well. So she pretends the plump wife of her boss does not exist. So her own marriage is apparently going south. So she is now seemingly tempted to cause another marriage to fail. 婚后18年, so 18 years into marriage, 假装与儿子在房里, so she pretends that in the room with her son, qīnnì的男孩不存在. So qīnnì simply means intimate, so it could be translated a number of ways. it's been translated here as caresses her son in the room does not exist. So again, still quite vague. It could be perfectly innocent, but someone is caressing. So the boy who caresses her son in the room does not exist. Next one, 婚后28年, 28 years into her marriage. 假装子宫 in her womb. 子宫, I think sort of can probably be translated as baby palace or child palace, womb. 日益 daily, 日益 so day by day. 膨胀 so ever enlarging is translated as so 膨胀 to get bigger and bigger. 的zhôngliú, the tumor, 的zhôngliú 不存在. After 28 years of marriage, she pretends the ever-enlarging tumor in her womb does not exist. 婚后30年, 30 years into marriage, 假装自己是幸运的医生的, so she pretends that she is fortunate. 医生的孤独, a lifetime of loneliness, 和折磨 and torture, or torment 不存在. So it's translated here as she pretends she is fortunate and all the tormenting loneliness in her life does not exist. 死前3分钟, so 3 minutes before dying. 死前3分钟. 假装死亡, she pretends death 是痛苦的 is painful. 自己对世界的厌恶并不存在. So she has at every stage of her life she is repressed and putting the interests of others and the wider society before herself. Kind of reminds me of a line in the movie Crazy Rich Asians near the end, where the main character has a confrontation with her prospective mother-in-law, played by Michelle Yeoh, where she says, Americans only think of their own happiness, apparently as opposed to family values. So this is a woman who, like many, probably most Chinese women, sacrifices her own happiness just for a quiet life and to cause minimum fuss. 西毒和殇, I would predict him for fame and fortune, but poets don't really achieve fame and fortune in China or anywhere else. But still, you should check him out. I'll link to more information about him in the About section.